Well, it's a very good question to ask about refugees because they are a challenging group of people. The very first thing I think we need to address about working with amongst refugees is to make sure that it is stable and secure, because not only for them, but also for the volunteers and the doctors and the nurses and the ancillary people we send, that they're going to be in a safe environment. So security is really important in the approach to working with refugees. We tend not to do emergency work, the sort of work that MSF do, for example, who do go into very dangerous zones. By the time we get there, it's normally stabilized, and that's quite important. But working with refugees is a cultural issue quite clearly, because many of these refugees are gathered together in cultural groups, and that's many times why they've been expelled from their current countries. And as well as a medical issue. So a lot of work needs to go in initially to do studies to find out what is the requirement and how we can help. The other issue is to really find partners we can work with in those countries, and we're beginning to do that now. So we've started off by working with the Rohingya refugees in southeast Bangladesh, in Cox's Bazar. And there were 1.2 million of these people, and what we found when we first went in, which was about 18 months ago, was that 30% of those refugees had eye problems. And that's a gargantuan number in comparison to the number you would find in the UK or in America. So it's a gargantuan number. And what it taught me was that most of these conditions were completely treatable or avoidable. And secondly, the treatment for them is very straightforward. It's not expensive. It's easy, relatively easy to do once you've got the resources there. But you have to work with partners. So working with partners in those countries, identifying who those partners are, making those relationships, forming those friendships and those professional relationships is really important. And then you can start working together. And once you've identified the model that will work in that particular country, and it may be different in different countries, then you can start to expand that model. We can fundraise for that model, and we can still really start making a great deal of work, make a great deal of difference, should I say. So I think that there is everything to play for here. I'm very excited about the work we've done amongst the Rohingya refugees. I think that's fantastic, and we're looking to expand, if I can persuade my board to do it, into the Syrian refugees in Jordan, Lebanon, and Turkey. And after some discussions today, maybe in Greece too, I don't know. But there are many opportunities, but these people are in real need. And you may have heard from one of our speakers today whose parents were refugees. What a completely devastating situation it is. So completely disorientating how it brings people down to a very low level in all sorts of respects, in their healthcare, in their finances, in their relationships, and loss of friends and relations and members of their family. So it's quite a desperate situation, but within those parameters, you can go in and you can help in a specific way, and that can give people hope in their lives, and that's very important for us and for them.